One of the first things to get bouncy is jumping further than before or perfecting your form. So if you look at Jamarant, they usually point out how his run up is in jumping, right? So he would take a big two step to the basket for alley oop, or you would see that he always plants his foot the way that results in him having the most amount of power for him to jump. So effectively, that makes him have one of the highest jumps or verticals in the NBA, allowing him to reach such heights, and allowing him to explode with such quickness and explode almost at any time if he needs to because of his form and how he's perfected it. So it's like the simple act of plyometrics. Now, I don't personally recommend plyometrics because I never felt like it worked for me. You could do it if you want to. And when I say plyometrics, I'm specifically talking about jumping with the box, like box jumps. It works, but for me personally, it never really worked. And that has stuff with height and how many times I did practice box jumps, all that stuff. Now, first of all, you would want to perfect jumping, let's say from 3 feet from the basket, and before you go on to 4 feet, 5 feet, and so on, until you can jump as farthest away from the hoop as you can, as you possibly can. But that simply trains your muscles, trains you. Well, always keep that in mind. Always keep the form in mind whenever you're jumping, whenever you're doing a 1-2 to the basket, for alley oop, all that stuff, because that allows you to get the most amount of power that you possibly can for a jump and for a dunk, possibly making you to dunk over somebody and all the hype, all the love. So that's always good. But yeah, always keep the form during practice, especially when you're specifically targeting jumping further than before. So other athletes like track athletes, long jumpers, if you've noticed, and even rugby players or American football players, they have quite the jumping ability because of the way that they run and of their long strides that they take. So this truly allows them to develop a lot more power in their jumping ability. But running with long strides allows you to take less steps and cover more ground. So instead of taking 2 steps to cover, let's say, 4 feet, you basically take 1. So, but that allows your legs to develop power and develop a jumping ability. Now, I don't have all the science behind it, but I have done it myself for quite a while, and I've seen significant improvement in my vertical. So next time you're running, don't think of just running like short strides or just short puts in it. Think of trying to extend your legs further with each step, each stride. And you would see the difference that it makes in jumping ability. Alright, so my personal experience, I have never been a high jumper, person who is genetically gifted in terms of jumping ability. Some people have strong calves, they could just jump high and they've never really done any box jumps or long workouts where they do squats and they do this, they do that just to try and get a high jump. So I found that these 3 things has really changed my vertical, my jumping ability in the game of basketball, to catch alley oops, to potentially dunk over men. Hopefully this will ease your workload, ease you having not to do a bunch of mad workouts that you see on YouTube to try and get a high vertical. So try it out. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't for you. So yeah.